Hello everyone, welcome to this video. I'm Amit Raheja, working as assistant professor in AISSMS IOIT Pune. Today we learn about Lami's theorem. Let us see what is the statement of Lami's theorem. Lami's theorem states that when three forces acting at a point are in equilibrium, very important, are in equilibrium, then each force is proportional to the sine of the angle between the other two forces. That means we can apply Lami's theorem when when there are only three forces in the system and they are in equilibrium. Also, they are acting through a point. Either they are passing through one point or maybe directed from that point. Okay. So suppose the three forces P, Q and R are acting at a point O and they are in equilibrium as shown. Let us say alpha is the angle between the force P and Q, beta is the angle between the force Q and R, and gamma is the angle between R and P. So by applying Lami's theorem, and we will get P is proportional sine of angle between the force Q and R, that is sine beta. Okay, let us go back to the figure. P is the proportional sine of angle between the forces Q and R. So between the force Q and R we have angle beta, and P is proportional sine of the angle, that is sine beta. So we can write down P divided by sine beta is equal to constant. Similarly, we can write down Q divided by sine gamma is also a constant, and R divided by sine alpha is a constant. Or we can write down P upon sine beta is equal to Q upon sine gamma is equal to R upon sine alpha. That is, whenever we are writing this force, we have to divide it with the adjacent angle between the other two forces. Okay, for P it is sine beta, for Q it is sine gamma, for R it is sine alpha. So this is the proof of Lami's theorem. Now by rearranging the forces and by using principle of transmissibility and arranging these forces to form a triangle, you can observe that P we have shown horizontal, and from P we have shown force Q, and after Q we have shown this force R, which is similar to this figure given over here. Also, we have mentioned the angles between the forces and the remaining angle. That is, if the angle between P and Q is 180, so the other opposite angle we have mentioned 180 by alpha over here. Okay. Similarly for beta, and the other angle is 180 minus beta. Over here we have gamma and 180 minus gamma. So these three forces are acting on a point, are in equilibrium, and hence they can be represented by three sides of the triangle, as I told you, taken in the same order. Okay, the order is important. If you miss the order, the angle between the forces and the other two forces will change and we will not get the correct answer. So it is important to take the forces in order as they are given in the question. By applying sine rule, we will get, or Lami's theorem, we will get P upon sine of 180 minus beta is equal to Q upon sine of 180 minus gamma, and R divided by sine 180 minus alpha. This can also be written as P upon sine beta, Q upon sine gamma, R upon sine alpha. So this is same as the equation that we have obtained in the previous slide. Note that all these three forces should be acting either towards the point or away from the point, like I told you initially. This is quite important. So two important steps to remember: all the three forces should be in equilibrium. They should be passing, they should be either acting towards the point or away from the point. And when once we are rearranging them, we should take them in order. Let us see one example based on Lami's theorem. Resolve 2740 Newton force as shown into two components P and Q along the directions A dash and B dash. So A dash and B dash are the axis about which we need to resolve this particular force 2740 Newton. Now, as you can observe in the figure given below, I have mentioned the angles between the forces. Okay, let us say P is the force which is acting along A dash and Q is the force acting along B dash. Okay, in the question, 50 degrees is given. The force is making angle with A dash axis of 50 degrees, and 2740 Newton, it's making an angle of 70 degrees with A dash. Okay, so with the help of this, we have found out uh, the inclination between the force 2740 and force Q. Okay, which is 180 degree minus 50 minus 70. So if we observe properly, A dash, we have 70 degrees from the right side and 50 degrees from the left side. So the remaining angle is 180 minus 50 minus 70, which is equal to 60 degrees. In the same way, if we want to find out what is the angle between the force P and force Q, it is either the addition of 60 plus 70, or we can take it other way around as 180 degrees plus 50, that is 230 degrees. We can take either ways. We can either take 60 plus 70, or we can take 180 plus 50, which is 230 degrees. Okay, now by applying Lami's theorem, we have 2740 divided by sine 230. Okay, that is the angle between the two forces. You can either take 50 degree plus 60 degree plus 70 degree, or you can take 180 plus 50 degrees, that is 230 degrees. I have taken 230 degrees over here. So 2740 divided by the angle between the two forces, which is 230 degrees. Then I have taken force P and the angle between the two forces. Now for P, the two forces are 2740 and force Q. So the angle between them is 60 degree. So P force divided by sine 60. Similarly, Q divided by sine 70, which is the angle between P force and 2740 Newton. By rearranging the equations and multiplying with the two terms, 2740 divided by sine 230 is equal to P upon sine 60. By rearranging that equation, we get P equal to 2740 into sine 60 divided by sine 230, which is 3097.614 newtons. In the same way, for finding out the value of Q, uh, we have multiplied 2740 into sine 70 divided by sine 230, which gives us the value of Q force as 3361.12 newtons. So in this way, we have to resolve the force. Now, for such a case, we don't know what is the inclination of this force with the regular x-axis or y-axis. The two axes about which we have to resolve this particular force are already rotated at certain inclination, and their inclination with the force is given. So that is why we can use Lami's theorem over here. Otherwise, we can proceed by with the regular method of resolving the force about x-axis and y-axis by using cos theta and sin theta. These are the references. Thank you.